Influence, The Psychology of Persuasion by Robert Cialdini. Have you ever wondered why people say yes, even when they don't fully understand why? Why a simple limited offer can push us to act immediately? Why we trust someone just because they wear a uniform? Or why we feel uncomfortable if we don't return a favor? These are not accidents. They are patterns, deep psychological triggers built into human nature. In the book Influence, The Psychology of Persuasion, psychologist Robert Cialdini uncovers the hidden forces that shape our decisions every single day. We are going to walk through these powerful principles slowly, deeply, and meaningfully so that you don't just understand them, but also recognize them in your own life. Introduction: the power of automatic thinking. As human beings, we like to believe we are rational. We think we carefully analyze every decision we make. But the truth is, most of our choices happen on autopilot. Our brain is constantly trying to save time and energy. So, instead of deeply thinking through every situation, it uses shortcuts. These shortcuts are helpful. They allow us to function in a busy, complex world. But they also make us vulnerable. Because once someone understands these shortcuts, they can influence our decisions sometimes without us even realizing it. Cialdini calls these shortcuts principles of persuasion. There are 6 of them, and each one reveals something powerful about the human heart. Reciprocity, the law of return. Imagine someone gives you a gift. Maybe it's small. Maybe you didn't even ask for it. But suddenly, you feel something inside. I should give something back. Feeling is reciprocity. It's one of the strongest psychological forces in human behavior. From ancient cultures to modern societies, there is an unspoken rule. If someone gives to you, you must give back. This is why free samples increase sales. Small favors create loyalty. Kindness opens doors. Even a simple act like offering tea to a guest creates a bond. But here's the deeper truth. Reciprocity is not just about transactions. It's about relationship. It reflects something sacred in human nature, the desire for balance, fairness, and connection. However, it can also be misused. Some people give not out of love, but as a strategy to create obligation. So the question becomes, are we giving to love or giving to control? True influence begins when giving is genuine. Commitment and consistency, the power of yes. Have you ever noticed how hard it is to go back on your word? Once you say yes, something changes inside you. You want to remain consistent with that decision. This is the principle of commitment and consistency. People want their actions to match their identity. If I say I am kind, I must act kindly. If I say I support something, I must continue supporting it. This is why small commitments are so powerful. A simple step. Agreeing with a statement. Making a small promise can lead to much bigger actions later. This is often called the foot in the door effect. This principle has 2 sides. On one hand, it builds discipline, faithfulness, and integrity. On the other hand, it can trap people into decisions they didn't fully think through. So wisdom is needed before saying yes. Because every yes shapes your future. Social proof following the crowd. When we are unsure, we look at others. What are they doing? What are they choosing? What do they believe? This is social proof. It's the reason we read reviews before buying. We follow trends. We feel safer in a crowd. If many people are doing something, we assume it must be right. But here's the danger. The crowd is not always correct. History has shown us that entire groups can move in the wrong direction. So social proof can guide us. But it should never replace wisdom. True discernment asks, is this right? Even if everyone else is doing it. Authority, the power of trust. Imagine a person wearing a white coat. Immediately, we assume doctor. And with that assumption comes trust. Authority is deeply rooted in human psychology. We are taught from childhood. Listen to teachers. Respect leaders. Obey experts. This is necessary for order and learning. But it also creates vulnerability. Because sometimes authority can be false. A confident voice, a title, a uniform can make people follow without questioning. Cialdini shows that people often obey authority even against their own judgment. So what should we do? Respect authority, but don't surrender your thinking. True authority is not just about position. It is about truth, integrity, and wisdom. Liking, the heart connection. We say yes to people we like. It sounds simple, but it is incredibly powerful. We are more easily influenced by people who are similar to us, compliment us, make us feel understood. This is why friendships matter. This is why relationships influence decisions more than logic. You can have the best argument in the world, but if there is no connection, it won't move the heart. However, liking can also blind us. We may trust someone not because they are right, but because they are pleasant. So again, balance is needed. Let love guide you, but let wisdom lead you. Scarcity, the fear of missing out. Only 2 items left. Limited time offer. Last chance. These words trigger something deep inside us. Urgency. Scarcity increases value. When something is rare, we want it more. Not always because we need it, but because we fear losing the opportunity. This is known as FOMO, fear of missing out. But think about this. How many decisions have you made in haste, only to regret them later? Scarcity creates pressure, and pressure reduces clarity. So when you feel urgency rising, because what is truly valuable will stand the test of time. Final reflection, awareness is power. These 6 principles are always at work. Reciprocity, commitment, social proof, authority, liking, scarcity. They shape our world marketing, relationships, leadership, even faith communities. But the goal is not to become suspicious of everything. The goal is awareness. Because once you are aware, you are no longer controlled blindly. You can choose. You can respond instead of react. Closing thought. True influence is not manipulation. It is not control. It is not pressure. True influence is built on truth, love, integrity. Because in the end, people may forget what you said. They may forget what you offered, but they will never forget how you made them feel. So the next time you hear a persuasive message, ask yourself, is this influencing my mind, or guiding my wisdom? And choose wisely. If you found this reflection meaningful, consider sharing it with someone who needs clarity in a world full of influence. And remember, the greatest power is not in influencing others, but in mastering yourself. Cialdini identifies 6 psychological levers that shape compliance and decision-making: reciprocity, commitment and consistency, social proof, liking, authority, and scarcity. Each principle describes an automatic response tendencies, social instincts that help humans navigate uncertainty but can also be exploited. By understanding them, readers can both apply and defend against persuasive tactics. The insights stem from Cialdini's 35 years of behavioral research and a 3-year participant-observer study in which he went undercover in sales and fundraising organizations. His findings reveal how subtle cues such as a free sample, expert title, or limited-time offer bypass rational judgment to trigger compliance. The book's influence spans psychology, marketing, negotiation, and public policy. It is widely taught in business schools and cited by professionals in leadership, communications, and behavioral economics. Its ethical focus using persuasion to create mutually beneficial outcomes, rather than manipulation, distinguishes it from purely tactical guides.